Hello everybody. I first want to ask you to look past my hair. It's unseasonably hot here today, which I love, but my hair is really cotton candy-like, and that's just how it's gonna be. So that being said, let's move on. Today I am finally going to tell you my thoughts and review on the IT Cosmetics My Sculpted Face Contour Palette. I have had this for a while now, and I wanted to use it long enough to be able to tell you whether it was a good buy or not. I have actually used it quite a bit, as you can see. I have hit pan on this contour shade right here. Just to kind of tell you what this is a contouring palette that retails for $38. I got this at Ulta, and I bought it because I wanted to get a contouring palette, and of course I kept hearing about the Anastasia Beverly Hills one, but I had an Ulta gift card, and it was kind of an impulse purchase, to be honest, and I kind of went through a few Makeup Alley reviews on my phone while I was in the store, and one review in particular not only made me laugh out loud, but it kind of just like sealed the deal. And I thought, this has a lot of great reviews, it's a few bucks cheaper than the Anastasia palette, and at the time that palette was completely sold out and you just could not get your hands on it, so I decided to give this a try. There are 6 colors. This is a translucent setting powder. It is not a white matte highlight, as some people think. It does have a little bit of a whitish cast, but what I used it for was setting under eye concealer. This is the highlight shimmer shade. The rest are matte. This is shimmery. This is the only shade that is confusing to me. It is very, very white, frosty shimmer. It would look good on maybe a very, very porcelain, fair-skinned person that has trouble finding a highlight because they are all either too golden or too pink. Otherwise, I do like it on the inner corners of the eyes only, and on the very, very tip of my nose only. It looks really goofy on my cheekbones, on my Cupid's bow. It's just too white and frosty. I'm not really sure what IT Cosmetics was thinking on this. However, onto the contour shades, the ones that you'll create your shadows with. This one is by far my favorite. It is probably similar to Fawn in the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. It's just a really nice shadow color. It does look a little warm on camera, but it really isn't. This is a definitely pink toned contour, and this would be nice if you feel like the first one was too dark. Also, I find sometimes when I do my contour, I will use this for the main area, and then use this kind of above it to kind of form that gradation from contour up to my blush color. It does kind of create a deeper shadow mixing these two. And then these colors are awesome because they go a little deeper than a lot of the contour palettes I've seen. This one is nice. I actually have used this one too in more of a bronzer. This is more of a matte bronzer, not a contour color. So as you can see, that's pretty rich, warm tone, and what I use that for is more around my hairline to bronze, not contour. And then this color, this is really, really great to see because for my dark-skinned friends and all of the people out there that the Anastasia palette will not work for them. They can't find a contour in that because it's not dark enough. This is a truly rich, pretty espresso color, and I think that a lot of African American skin tones would be able to actually contour with this for once in a contour palette. It's great to see something like that. However, it's dark enough that, you know, someone like me, I wouldn't contour with it, but I have used it as an eyeshadow. I smudged it along my lash line as an eyeliner. Potentially you could fill in brows with it. You'd have to have pretty dark brows to do that. I probably wouldn't fill in mine with it. But yeah, so overall, I have been able to use about 4 of the 6 regularly. I've used this one sparingly because it's very odd, this one sparingly as well. But I don't think that's too bad for 6 colors being able to, you know, actively use 4 and 2 of them sparingly. It does have a really nice mirror on this. There is a regular focal length mirror and a close-up mirror, so that's really nice to see. Otherwise, I think the packaging is really ugly. I wasn't even gonna try to sugarcoat that. I really hate this font. That always tends to bother me though, and I did study graphic design, so that could be why fonts really irk me and other people probably don't care. But I really don't like that. I've seen this graphic on the back a lot. I actually saw it a lot like on Pinterest before I ever tried this palette. Don't like this font either, but then again, you know, that does not matter. The product inside is what matters. This is a cruelty-free, no animal testing product, so that is wonderful to hear. And It Cosmetics is kind of a brand that I feel like they're going to be making more and more of a big presence in the next year. I'm seeing a lot of really great products from them, and this is just one of them, and I love several other of their products. So I think It Cosmetics is totally on the right track. They had this contour palette out before the Anastasia Beverly Hills one, and I did want to mention that I have successfully contoured my nose with this shade as well. So it does work well for a realistic shadow on the nose area. Overall, I do think this is a good buy. I do not own the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. I have tried it in store, and I honestly find that it is pretty warm in tone, and I almost think that it is more towards the yellow olive skin tone that I am, while this is probably better suited to somebody who is pale or someone with red or pink undertones. So maybe I should own the Anastasia Beverly Hills, and everyone else that's pink undertones should own this. But I've been able to make this work for my very yellow skin tone and not have too much trouble with it. And honestly, the more palettes I see, like the Anastasia one, that are pretty warm in tone, I'm kind of confused because shadows are not warm in tone. Shadows have a grayish ashen quality to them because it's a shadow, it's not a tan. So when you are shopping for a contour palette, you do want to find more of these cooler shades, these colors that are not bronzers. So using the contour shade and a Sigma F05 brush, I am contouring underneath my cheekbones. I'm going to bring that up a little bit onto my temples as well. And then I'm going to dip into the more pink mauve-based contour shade and put that on top of the first one, kind of blending in together. I am going to contour underneath my jawline and under my chin, so I have a little bit more of a jawline in general, because I really don't right now. For contouring my nose, I'm actually using a eyeshadow brush. This is a crease brush from Sony Kashuk, and this is going to keep the line really soft. I am dipping into the contour shade that I first used on my cheekbone area, and I am just making a very soft line on either side of my nose, and I'm going to keep space in between those two lines down the center of the bridge of my nose. I'm going to apply a little bit under my bottom lip as well. That's going to kind of give my lip a little more of a pouty appearance. And while I have that contour, well, that crease brush, I am going to contour a little bit more in a sharper fashion underneath the cheekbones. Now I am applying blush right above that contour area, and I'm going to make sure that I'm keeping it above the tip of my nose. Now I'm going to dip into the translucent setting powder. I'm going to use the highlighter and place it very sparingly on the tops of my cheekbones, above my cupid's bow, tip of my nose, and down the bridge of my nose. And it doesn't look too bad on camera, but it is pretty bright white, so you definitely want to use this in a small amount. Now I'm using the matte bronze shade. I'm just going to kind of warm everything up, especially around the hairline, and we are done. I think that if I were grading this, I would probably give it a B+. And I say that simply because the highlight color is weird. It just is. And, you know, I do think that this color is a translucent setting powder, but I think it either should be more of a warm yellow toned setting powder for here, or I don't know. That one, it was just, I don't find myself reaching for it a lot. So B+ for the It Cosmetics My Sculpted Face Palette. And as always, make sure you visit wakeupformakeup.com. That is my blog where I will post more detailed pictures and things like that. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. I've been using